Hey, folks. Hope everyone is having an amazing Friday. Let's get ready for the weekend, right? I am fired up, although my weekends are kind of a blur, but I'm actually fired up for this weekend because tomorrow at noon, Publius, the guys from Beanstalk Farms, we're going to sit down and have a chat. We're going to talk about what this experience of the exploit was like for them. We're going to talk about how they kind of came up with the next phase of what they're doing. We're going to talk about the support they received from the community and what that experience was like, and the support they received from the team. That's not going to be a live show. I'm going to record it, edit it, and put it out as quickly as possible, probably tomorrow afternoon late. But I am really excited to talk to these guys again. I've interviewed them twice before. So if you are interested in kind of hearing the inside scoop on what this experience was like for them, um, be ready for having your podcast uploaded or go to missiondefi.com. I'm hoping to have the entire show up sometime tomorrow afternoon. And then, of course, I'll be promoting the shit out of it next week. But my goal with the show is to really dive a little deeper into what it's like to be in the shoes of people that are running projects like this. And that's usually what my interviews focus on. But in this case, I really want to get into more of, what the human side of this experience is like, and then what it's like coping with it when you're a founder managing it. I've worked with and for startups for 25 years. And yes, startups face, running out of money or losing a key employee or losing a key customer or technology that's late or doesn't work the way it's supposed to or catastrophic data center failure or something like that. But it doesn't, regular startups in Web2, regular startups in the mobile world have no concept, I don't think, of what it's like to deal with the situation of an exploit that basically wipes out your entire project. So tomorrow, I really want to get deep with these guys. They have been fantastic, in my opinion, with the way they've been handling this situation. I actually sent word that I thought I kind of knew beforehand that they were going to dox, and I was a bit worried about them doing that and was not encouraging that in my communications. But um, I think it was actually the right choice for them in the short term, because it seized and grabbed hold of confidence and trust from the community and the people that had lost money. And I think it was a big boost because people that invested in this protocol, typically you've got to do a lot of work to understand Beanstalk, and it requires an investment of your time and your brain power to understand what they created. And so at the same time, after you've invested all that, and then to lose whatever you lost, whether it's $500 or $50,000 or $500,000 or $5 million, it's pretty brutal experience losing money in an exploit. And I can tell you because I've done it. So I really want to get a sense of what it was like to watch and see people that had lost large amounts of money um, come along and support the protocol. And I think that the doxing allowed them to gain the support of those people, right? And at the end of the day, if you've just lost money, you're sitting there wondering what's going to happen, and there are no funds. This is not a venture capital backed project. You don't really have an option. Now, it doesn't mean you don't complain. It doesn't mean you're not angry. It doesn't mean you're not sad or depressed about it. But at some point, reasonable people will say, all right, what can I do to help? What can I do to restore this thing so that I get my money back? And then they can parse the typical investor in this protocol has spent the time and brain energy to understand it better. And so they can parse what the people are like and what the project is like and what it takes to make it get back up. And they can parse what caused it. Right now, don't get me wrong. There was a strategic error in the way the governance protocol was set up and the ability for flash loans to exploit it. But that doesn't mean that everybody makes mistakes, and there were mistakes made. And obviously they regret those mistakes, but at the same time, they've done a brilliant job of trying to recover. And I think they have a path forward that's going to help them get there. Anyway, enough about Beanstalk, but I'll be talking to them tomorrow. If you have some ideas for the conversation with them, some things you'd love to know about, please don't hesitate to DM me at B05Crypto on Twitter, B05Crypto on Telegram, B05Crypto #2143 on Discord. I'd love to hear your questions. I have a tweet out today saying, hey, you've got ideas, questions, things you want to know about the experience for the Beanstalk team, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Ran into this project yesterday. I don't remember how. God knows with the number of tabs I have open, how I ran into this project. But I found this pretty interesting. There are a ton of DAO tools coming out of the market. And I frankly think that there are going to be a lot of opportunities for investment and development in that space. I think that DAOs are going to penetrate beyond the DeFi and NFT space. Excuse me. And so I like looking at the tools that are out there to help with it. I had a call, I don't know what day it was, Thursday or Wednesday, with a founder of a project in the DAO space, and they create bots for Discord to basically manage all of the payments bounties that a project would set up for people to help them translate websites into other languages, do specific development courses, tasks, create memes, promote on social media, create videos, whatever, right? So they have this bounty system, and the bounty system automates and takes care of a particular task for DAOs. The problem that projects in the DAO space have right now in building tools for DAOs is that there is no one size fits all. And so many projects are building tools for DAOs that solve a particular problem. So this one is called Koop, KOOP.xyz. And this one is interesting. I had to actually dive deeper to understand what they're doing. Their website looks really nice, but it doesn't. If you just stumbled upon it looking for a DAO tool because you were starting one, they're not very clear about what they do. But in this case, this is more of a community-oriented approach to DAO tools. And their thesis is that DAOs are, let me see if I can pull up that article I was reading from them. Their thesis and their reason for being and what they're creating is because they believe that a huge part of the market for DAO-like tools are going to be oriented to smaller groups of communities. So social media communities, maybe somebody that follows an influencer, a group of friends that want to invest together, and a business that wants to do something as a group for its clients, whatever. They are very focused on NFTs and NFTs as representing membership, which I actually am a big fan of, especially for projects that are based in the United States. But they have a slick interface. They have a solid team. I looked through quite a bit about them, and they allow for investments by a group of people into NFTs and into tokens, and allow for a shared treasury. So this is one I'm going to keep an eye on. I'm actually going to see if I can get the group on. I know that the product is actually functional, but it's not readily accessible from within their website. But the bottom line is they're betting on the fact that corporations are going away eventually, or that will fall to the wayside to some extent because of DAOs. And they're building tools to fit a particular niche. And I think what's going to happen in this space is that we're going to see um, more and more projects get built to provide tools for DAOs, but because DAOs are so different across the board in how they function and how they structure and how they pay, etc., there are going to be not one size tools fits all. And I think what we'll end up seeing is a building block approach to DAOs, where you pick the modules you need off the shelf and plug them all together. Because the other problem with the tools that are being built is none of them are one size fits all. None of them can cover all of the particular scenarios or operating methods that a DAO might have. And so it makes it very difficult for projects to use a lot of these solutions. And then it makes it very difficult for the users because users have to navigate between different interfaces in Discord, on the web, in forums, in Snapshot, etc. And it makes it really tough to figure out what the hell's going on in any given one place. Another potential solution for this is that dashboards get built that actually connect to all the tools. So if your DAO is using Vote with Tally and a different forum system and has Discord announcements, then a dashboard that brings all of those together and allows you to see all of the information you need about your DAO, and then click through to the functionality if you need it, but still see data, information, treasury reports, etc., all in one place. I think that's going to be a winner project type in the future. So I would encourage anyone that's looking at DAO tooling to think about the fact that there are a lot of these protocols that are open, and you could be the interface to those protocols, right? So I think there's a lot of opportunity in this space. I will say one tool that I'm really impressed with from a project management perspective is this one. It's called Clarity. Now, the tool itself is centralized in the fact that it is, a hosted web platform, very web 2.0, but it is integrated with multiple blockchains, and it allows you to manage projects, to pay people, to provide bounties, to create a knowledge base. Of all of the tools I've used in this space, this tool to me is pretty powerful and pretty good. And I think they have an opportunity with some back-end integrations to provide an interface to the other tools that are on the market. And that would be approach I would have. Allow this to be the task management, the payment system, and then integrate with other projects for things like Discord announcements, etc., so that you provide an interface to those projects, but you are providing kind of the core management of the DAO in one place. So anyway, those are that conversation and call I had the other day was about Coordinate. And Coordinate is a payment system that allows you to vote on what people should get for work they have done for the DAO. So my experience using Coordinate was a case where a client had a bunch of work done by different people, and each person posted up the work they had done, and then everyone had an allocation of, I think it was 20 votes to allocate to people within that group, and what that would represent the percentage that you think they should get paid out of the total fee that or the money that was available. This could be true of a budget from a DAO or whatever. So I found Coordinate to be a solid tool for doing that if that's your philosophy. But the problems I had with Coordinate were, number one, because it's decentralized, everyone can see what you voted. So if you have to work with multiple people in that group, somebody's going to feel slighted because you thought their work wasn't as worth as much as somebody else's. Number two, the amount of people in a given DAO working at any given time makes it nearly impossible for the average member to know everything that everyone has done in that DAO and to be able to examine it, look at it, etc. The other thing is that you might not have the expertise to assess it. So bottom line on this is there's a huge amount of opportunity in the DAO space. I think there is a gigantic potential for tools to be built and to make it easier for people to form DAOs. I think the ones that are most flexible, that also integrate with other tools and provide a view to those tools, are going to be the most successful. But at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of potential in this space and a lot of potential for people to make money there. Let's see what else. Well, we're going to talk. Well, we were talking about bridges the other day, and I thought this was really interesting by Multichain. And I may have talked about this last week, so I'm going to just quickly touch on it. But they are basically creating an API for integration with bridges, something similar to what I wanted to see Prender.Financial do. So we talked about that the other day. Stripe has continued to increase the availability of services for crypto. And this to me is a really big thing because now not only are they allowing people to integrate crypto acceptance capabilities to some extent in a very limited way. Allowing people to buy crypto. So let's say you have an exchange or a wallet or something, and you want people to be able to buy crypto, but you want them to be able to connect to your debit cards or to their bank account. Stripe now has that support, but they've also started allowing for payments out in crypto. So right now for like the United States, it's just in USDC, but they are slowly adding and are going to add more cryptocurrencies to the Stripe interface. What does this mean for the whole market? Well, Stripe is the gorilla of integrated credit card processing, debit card processing, bank access, business setup. They have a plethora of products. They have KYC built in. I can't imagine anyone in the crypto space, after full crypto support is available, really building anything to access Visa and debit card payments, remittances, etc., any other way but Stripe. Stripe makes it easy for developers to integrate. They're reasonable on their overall fees, etc. And they provide all of the compliance that a project would need, all through the Stripe interface. So I think this is really big news as they continue to add to what they're offering. It's really important for crypto in general. So there is a person named Molly White who is actively anti-crypto, and she has a site called Web3 is Going Great, which I think is actually an amazing service for the DeFi space. Web3 is Going Great chronicles, in a very anti-crypto manner, all of the exploits, all of the scams, all the things that people like Zach XBT and all of those other guys are doing to expose weaknesses and problems within the DeFi space. Well, I tweeted at her the other day that I really thought that she was doing a great service to DeFi with that site, because it collects everything, on the negative side, the things we need to fix in DeFi. It collects everything in one place. So you can find people that are scamming. You can find exploits that have occurred. You can find weaknesses in Ethereum and the code and the way the systems function. You can find all of that chronicled on her website. And to me, that's exactly what DeFi needs. So I think she's actually created something that's actually useful in helping crypto grow and helping crypto get better at what it does. I'm sure that wasn't her intent, because she's decidedly anti-crypto. If you take a stroll through her Twitter feed, she is often derogatory towards people that participate in this space, makes the assumption that there's really only two kind of people in the space: scammers or greedy people, and those who are being taken advantage of by them. So very much I would say a nanny state approach to things. That said, she wrote this piece the other day called "On Anti-Crypto Toxicity." Basically, well, the point of it is to scold the anti-crypto community for being so toxic towards crypto people. The problem is at the same time where she's telling them not to be so toxic, she's basically lumping us into these scammer or gullible idiot categories, and basically doing a tirade about how shitty crypto is and how horrible it is, right? So it was interesting the way she does this, because she's coming across like she's trying to be, peaceful and gentle and telling people don't be so toxic to crypto people. But at the same time, she's fairly derogatory in the piece. Anyway, I decided to try something, and we'll see if she responds. I DM'd her yesterday and I said, I would love for you to come on Mission DeFi. I would love to talk to you about your thoughts and opinions. I promise it won't be toxic. It will be a reasonable, thoughtful discussion that you and I can have about the two sides of the spectrum. So we'll see if she replies. I'm hoping she does. I didn't do it publicly. Didn't want her to feel like I was trying to put pressure on her. But I do think that all of us in this world have to expose ourselves to other thoughts and opinions. And if nothing else, in the DeFi space, we need to understand kind of the vehement nature of people's anti-crypto takes, because this person is supposedly a skilled developer. She's, supposedly understands the tech at a deep level, but she still makes assumptions and broad generalizations about the people in the space and as well as the technology. And I really like to get to kind of the core of what really took her to that direction. She's actually responsible for because she's a Wikimedia community member and editor. She is responsible for the resolution that was passed by the community to no longer accept cryptocurrency donations. Now, I know she knows full well there are proof of stake chains that don't have an environmental impact. Despite that was the primary method that they were using to pass this ban. But she also thinks it's so scammy that it shouldn't be encouraged. And so that was her motivation for the proposal. But it'll be interesting to see if she's willing to come on the show or not. I would love to have that discussion. I think we could have a reasonable one. I'd love to hear her thoughts and opinions on why she thinks things are bad. I obviously would also love to give her my counter thoughts to what she thinks is wrong in crypto, and, have a reasonable discussion. At the end of the day, there are probably a number of things in the world that she and I agree on and a number of things we disagree on. But I'd certainly love to have the chance to have that conversation with her and have a thoughtful debate about it, because there's zero reason, even on things where we're so polar opposite, there's zero reason that we can't have a discussion. I certainly agree with her that there are scammers in the space. I certainly agree with her that there are greedy people taking advantage of people. But I also am a believer that people need to learn on their own how to make their own mistakes with their money. And that's why I think it's important for the freedom that crypto provides. I am not a libertarian, though. And of course, we all get broad brush stroke labeled as libertarians. But in my case, I'm not. I have libertarian leanings, but I'm, a centrist Democrat. So, anyway, I'm hoping she goes for it. We'll see whether or not she responds or not. So far, she hasn't. I sent it last night. Haven't heard back from her. Let's see. Oh, to make sure there's no other news pieces I wanted to cover today. No. So the other thing I wanted to do quickly is. We talk about different things that we use in DeFi, and I'd love to hear either in the comments on YouTube. You can reply to me on Twitter, to reply to this feed on Twitter. If you're watching it live, you can reply on YouTube. I'd love to get people's thoughts and comments on what they think, what tools you're using in DeFi. By the way, James says, I'll try to think of some. This is about Beanstalk, I think. I'm very interested in what comes in the interview, as I was affected by this. Been pretty impressed with the team's response so far as well. Yeah, absolutely, man. I actually had not taken it. Well, I have $10,000 worth of pods that I won in a poker game they held. So I was affected that way, but it was not money that I spent. So I'm sorry that you had a negative impact on you. I actually think they're going to be very successful in the raise. I hope they are. But I definitely know what it feels like because I've been in your shoes, James. But yeah, please send your questions. I'm interviewing them tomorrow. I would love to know what things you want to know, especially as someone who's been impacted by the exploit. What things are important to you. So feel free to put comments in the YouTube feed, reply to me, DM me, B05 Crypto on Telegram or Twitter or Discord. I'm more than happy to take those questions to them because they are obviously very open now about answering questions, and I've been really impressed with their response to things. So because I didn't prepare properly for the show by doing all my usual news and tools research, I thought I'd do a quick run through of some of the tools I talk about on the show all the time. And I'll put them with links in the show notes on the podcast and on missiondefi.com. But these are tools that I find incredibly valuable and for investing and for keeping track of what's going on in the space. So I thought I would run through a few of those with you and tell you why I like them and why I think they're good. And then we'll take it from there. So first one up is the unfortunately named CoinDix. So, we I don't know where the branding came from, but anyway, I love this tool because it's fast. It is essentially a tool to help you find yield across multiple chains, multiple tokens, and multiple protocols that offer staking, yield farming, other things, right? So it's a really fantastic tool. You can pick and just see things on a particular blockchain. By the way, it's coindix.com. You can search on a particular symbol. So if you want to search on, say, everything that has an FTM offering on the FTM network, and then you want to sort it by APY, you can do that. You can limit it and filter it by the amount of TVL. So if you only want protocols and you only want FTM and you only want things on Phantom that have over 100,000 in TVL, you can do that and see where that is. It's a really fantastically designed tool, great user interface, love it a lot. And I find I'm using it more and more. Do you want to find just things that you can single stake with any coin? You can do that. So this is everything on Phantom that has a single-sided staking because you're worried about impermanent loss. You can find everything that has good APYs for single-sided staking. If you wanted to find only stablecoin related things, you can do that as well. My stablecoin that's come out, I think pretty recently, maybe it's been out a while, is paying 47.12% on the lending protocol Taro. They provide charts to let you see where the APY versus TVL has been over a given period of time. And you can link out directly to the protocol provider to get a sense of how it functions, what it works like, et cetera, et cetera. So let me see. So that's CoinDix. Something that's also very similar that I used to use a great deal. And I keep coming back to it, but I find that in the past, and I haven't really checked it lately, in the past, I had to double check APYs because they were having some issues. Now, I have had some conversations with the team there, and I think they've been working very hard to fill in the gaps in their data that they were having previously. And so I think things have gotten better with the data that's there. And you can certainly do the same kinds of things on their site that you can do on the CoinDix site. You can see a list of farms and look for what's available in each farm, or you can do similar things that I was just showing you on CoinDix, where you can filter by the blockchain. They already have some filters in that are liquidity higher than 50,000, farm liquidity higher than 10 million. So you can have an overall liquidity on what the strategy is, and you can have the overall liquidity of the farm as a filter, but you can also add a bunch of other things. So the high APY level you want to have, the TVL change over a 24-hour period. You can find only, say, rebasing coins, collateralized things, lending variables, single stakes, so single-sided and permanent loss prevention tokens. You can do it by a particular coin group, and then coin pair groups. and you can particular exchanges and farms that you're interested in. You can also find it and filter them by fees. It's a really robust and powerful set of tools. That's multifarm.fi. Great team over there. Really love them. They're producing a lot of great content, a lot of educational stuff. So really impressive group. I think they have improved their backend data feeds so that the APYs are more up to date and more real time. So I would definitely give that a shot. Another tool I use quite a bit is Dex Guru. And it's very similar to aggregator like Matcha, where you can cross-chain trade, right? You can trade, not cross-chain, I shouldn't say that. You can trade on just about every chain that's available, any token you want. So if you were looking for a particular token, you can find it in here, and you can then say, oh, you know what? I want to buy some FTM on Polygon, right? So you can go find the wrap Polygon on there and buy it. So the beauty of this project, this platform is, first of all, you don't ever have to leave this interface to see charts and data. You can see the active pools around a project. You can see the trading history around a project, whether there were whales or dolphins or sharks or turtles that have traded and the size of the trades that have occurred. All the data you could ever want is there, as well as any orders you've done in the past. And you can access all of the data. You can access all of the major chains and trade on all of the major chains. I hope that eventually they'll be adding things like bridging and cross-chain swaps. But for now, the tool is incredibly powerful, and it's my go-to tool for almost all the trades I do. They use 0x protocol on the back end, which is what Matcha uses, and a number of other direct links to chains to get you the best price. And they do a fantastic job. Now, if you do a trade on their site, I would encourage you, when you do the pop-up to buy something, they actually will ask you if you want a tip, right? They don't put it in your face. It's not required, but I always try to give a little bit to the protocol, because that's how they earn money. They have recently launched a DAO. I haven't taken a deep dive into it, but I'm fascinated with it, because as well as this project is built and as strong as it is, I'm really interested to see what the DAO is going to be doing. And I read an article the other day saying they're actually doing sub DAOs for it. So anyway, it's a great product, a great project, great tool. Check it out. It's dex.guru. Router has actually, I had someone from the Router team reach out to me the other day in a group I'm in, and Router is the sister company to DeFi, which is a yield farming staking project on the Polygon network, or it was just on Polygon. Now it's cross-chain. They now have launched the ability to cross-chain swap. So no longer are they just kind of a bridge. You can swap from one token to another. So you could start with wrapped ETH on a chain and move over to Ethereum and get USDC on the other chain. This is an awesome tool, fantastic tool, and one that I hope to see integrated with more protocols. DropsTab. So dropstab.com is my go-to tool. It replaced CoinGecko for me, and it replaced CoinMarketCap for me. I love their layout. I love the way their tools function. They are always up to date with most of the latest protocols and coins on the network. And so it's really one I use for everything. They have a great mobile app, really cool stuff. You can favorite and save if you're willing to create a login. You can favorite and save and have a watch list of protocols that you keep tabs on. And you can set up alerts, et cetera, et cetera. They have portfolio capabilities, and then they have a lot of analysis tools available within it. DropsTab is an awesome, awesome project. Now, a sister project to DropsTab is, let me get a new share going here, is a tool that I use all day, every day, and that is the EtherDrops tracking bot. This is a bot that does everything from allow me to see a list of coins and their current prices and their percentage gains or lost in the last 24 hours, but I can also update it for 12 hours or 1 hour. So in Telegram, I can just open this bad boy up, click on coins, and immediately see what's going on. They also have pools in there. They can show you the latest gas prices on Ethereum, funding levels for options. are also available. Just a ton of really great shit in this tool. Then the other thing about this tool that I really love, and let me see if I can find, where is it? Hold, please. Please hold, please hold. You can monitor wallets. So let me give you an example. I have a buddy that got hacked, and for a pretty large sum of money. And so I set up a watch tracking on his wallet. And so now whenever the hacker transacts funds out of that wallet, I get an alert. I also set up an alert for a bunch of whales that I like to follow because I think they're smart investors. And so I keep an alert set for that hacker, and I keep an alert set for a bunch of whales that I follow to see what trades they're doing. The other thing you can do in this tool is you're able to set up limits. So when I add coins to this coin list, I am able to set up trade size limits, change in price triggers, etc. And it'll tell me when trades have occurred that are large in size. So this was a swap that happened from WETH to CRV, worth $385,000. Matic price changed up 5.02%. Current price is $1.49. This is an absolutely invaluable tool, people. I got to tell you, it is something I use all day long. I love kind of the command line interface that you get with Telegram, and it's much faster and easier to use than trying to go over and load up a web page. But the sister tool is the Drops Tabs tool, and I also love that a lot. This is a company that's doing really, really cool shit, and I really love their products. So highly recommend that. Hey, our buddy Eamon, who is actually a member now of the Beanstalk core team, as a developer, and has been helping the founders through a lot that's been happening in the exploit, says, hell yeah, it's been an awesomely positive response. I mean, he is one of the people that was recently hired by the protocol to help out, who were faced on Sunday morning with no income from the protocol. And a large number of them said, screw this, we're going all in. We are going to save this project. And that tells you a lot about the caliber of the people that founded it, and the caliber of the team that was already there, and the caliber of the protocol itself. So great to hear that, man. And so glad you connected me up there. Let me see if I've got anything else. Oh, found this new, one of the investment groups I track, because I like to track what they're investing in. One of the investment groups I tracked announced an investment in Subspace Network. And this is actually pretty fascinating. I just saw it for the first time this morning, and I haven't taken a complete deep dive into it, but they claim, like Algorand, to have solved the trilemma, which to me, we always have to have a bit of doubt to make sure that that's the case. But they're basically making that claim. They are, I assume, somehow related to Polkadot, and they're utilizing the cross-chain capabilities of that network for their project. But essentially, it is some kind of storage space model where, like Filecoin, where you can get paid for providing storage space to the blockchain. But it also makes a lot of claims about decoupling the smart contracts, distribution, having access to transactional data that makes it safe to bridge across chains. So Ethereum's coming soon. They have Polkadot and Kusama right now. Looks like they're going to have a really nice interface for what they're launching. To me, it looks powerful. The concepts seem powerful. I haven't taken a deep enough dive into it yet, and I will, and I'll update you guys. But pretty impressed so far with it. Now, they're still in testnet phase. They have a DevNet up, and the investment groups behind it are incredibly impressive. So I would say this is definitely one to keep an eye on. And by the way, that's a great way to keep track of potential investments, right? I have lists of investors that I follow that I think are smart and invest in smart things and things with a strong future. And so I follow them and have notifications set up, and I set up separate lists in Twitter to keep track of what they're doing. I also monitor their wallets in Ether drops. So I can see what they're actually buying and investing in. So the other great tool that's great for that is Nansen. And Nansen has an awesome tool for tracking whale wallets, but also whale wallets that produce, right, that have great track records. Last tool I'll talk about, this is attached to an account I use for some small payments that come in here and there. But this product, DeBank, I've talked about a ton. I also don't use MetaMask anymore. I use their wallet called Rabby, has a much better interface. Within the wallet, I can see my DeFi investments, my token standings, current pricing, everything is built into it. It's fantastic. If you must have testnet access, they don't have that yet in the Rabby wallet, but everything else about it is phenomenal. It's a superior user experience and interface. Everything about setting it up, about using it, about transacting in it is so superior. They have safety checks on every transaction you do. So it'll warn you if a wallet's on a blacklist or a wallet has a problem that you're sending to, or if there's been suspicious activity prior. And then they have this, which is their dashboard, like Zapier and Zerion. And I love this tool better than both of those tools. The interface is cleaner. It has NFT support. It allows you to see all your historical transactions in one place. I actually used this for my taxes, and it allows you to bundle up accounts together and see the balances within those accounts. So love that product, love that tool. Been doing a lot more in Beefy lately. Just take a look. Lots of great new stuff in their interface. Definitely encourage everybody to take a look at it. I'm actually considering taking a deeper look at BFTM, their voting bribing protocol that they've released. And we talked about Coordinate. That is all I have for today, folks. Wow, still 45 minutes. That's pretty amazing. Listen, please send me your questions for Beanstalk. Also, if you've got other projects I should be looking at, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I want to hear about things you think are powerful or cool. They can be as microcap as you want them to be. They can be as new as you want them to be. If you know somebody that's building something cool, send them my way. That's for me right now. I'm really focusing on things that may have exponential big gains later on that I can make a longer term play in. So projects like Printer.financial and others that I think have some long-term financial potential because I like the team, I like the protocol, I like their approach, whatever. I am more than happy to talk about projects on the show if there's something that you think is interesting. So please DM me on Twitter, DM me on Telegram, B05Crypto. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. We love you guys. We appreciate you being here. And please, if you get a chance, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, and review us on YouTube. It really helps boost our presence and helps us grow this thing, which we're really trying hard to do. Thanks so much and have a great day. Have a great weekend.